Hello, welcome. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of January 2018, and you are with Susan Alexander, YouTube, sharing angelic vibrations, messages from Metatron under Australian skies. And as you can see behind me, we have another glorious hot sunny day. Currently it's about 35 degrees, so it is, yes, hot. And I do empathize most strongly with everyone in the Northern Hemisphere who is shivering under blankets of snow and gales and wildfires and mudslides and everything that Mother Nature has need to bring to the surface to allow herself to gain equilibrium. But that's part of our day-to-day life. That is what we are here to witness, Metatron said. All of the things that are happening, we are being called to witness at this time. And what he said was that ever since the beginning of time, it has been necessary for there to be witnesses to the great upheavals, the great changes, the great times that have occurred throughout man's recorded history. And when he said that, he stressed man's recorded history, because obviously there are histories that are unrecorded. The history of our world, of Mother Gaia, is, as she has often demonstrated, hidden from us unless something which we term cataclysmic occurs. And the picture that has been given to me has been the tectonic plates moving deep within the earth, sometimes deep within the oceans, and I'm being showed the huge trench within the ocean that has as yet been unplumbed, where creatures that have not been seen for possibly millennia have lived and exist today. We're being given glimpses of these things nowadays. We are a bit bright, aren't we? We are being given glimpses of these things today, but we don't really understand what it is that is happening. As I said, today is the 16th of January, so we're past the halfway mark in January. Today is the day of the new moon, so it is a period of new beginnings. What Metatron has said to me is that the first 2 weeks of January were as yet preparation for what is still a long year. We have the rest of the year ahead of us to make and consolidate our changes. What he told me was, and his words were, life is not static. If life was static, it would not be life, because life means change. Change is evolution, and it only stops in the earthly human sense once human life, physical life, ceases. Even then, life does not cease. It merely changes its shape, its form, its energy. And as we know, life and existence is vibration. Vibration is what every single thing is made from, the energy. The sprays that I use are not only color sprays, they are also energy sprays. They work on a vibrational level with us and for us and also through us, enabling us to not only connect with, but also connect through to other energetic beings. It is a state of constant flow. What Metatron has wanted to discuss today is what we can look forward to for the rest of January. And what he has said is that despite the often slow start that we make to the new year, or sometimes we start, and he's making fun of me at the moment because I'm a Taurus. He said, despite making the start of the year like a bull at a gate, sometimes we reach the midway point of January and suddenly find that we lack the energy to keep that momentum going because we have started too fast sometimes. It may simply be that we need to, he said, he's showing me a watch and a watchmaker, and they're recalibrating the settings in the watch. So we need to recalibrate. We need to work out a realistic plan, realistic goal setting, not so that we underachieve, but so that we have clear stepping stones along the way towards our achievement. He also has said that there are those who overreach, those who are so filled with their own their own sense of their achievements, their abilities, their capabilities, their own self-promotion, that they reach too far. Sometimes it is possible to succeed in these instances if the stars are aligned. At other times, they will find that they fall short of their goal or goals, in which case they have further to climb before they can start again. But he wants to assure us that even if that should be the case, it is still possible. Nothing is impossible. It is only divine timing and right timing that affect the changes, that affect the success of any venture that is undertaken. I just want to, before I started, I sprayed with the as you know, I use the Amanda Ellis Metatron energy sprays. I sprayed first with the white spray to clear my aura, and then with the Metatron spray to tune in to find out if there was any particular way he wanted me to start, which he obviously did. I'd like to spray it just again, the Metatron spray, the flame attunement spray. The things that Metatron has been talking about and has drawn my attention to, but has made me look at things from a different perspective, have been the numbers of I termed them in the past wild weather events. The wildfires that raged through California, followed by the recent rains and then the mudslides in the Montecito area in California. The gales after the snowstorms and with the snowstorms in the UK and Scotland and the devastation that has occurred there. The Philippines, where the exchange floor collapsed. What Metatron is saying, and we have had bushfires in Australia, and what he is drawing my attention to, what he was drawing my attention to, and he wants to draw your attention to it, is that even though I have now begun talking about angelic vibration and Metatron under Australian skies, that these messages are not just for Australia or the Southern Hemisphere or just for my own particular patch of the ground. They are for the world at large. It's not. This is not a personal reading. I can do personal readings for anyone, but this is for a collective reading. This is for everyone. It's for the collective. It is global. It is that they are things that affect all people at any time, at any place. Anyone who suffered a loss, it is for them. Anyone who has suffered a success, it is for them. Anyone faced with a crisis, it is for them. Metatron can be reached by anyone at any time. They only have to ask. So these messages come for everyone. So if your preparations have not been as well thought out as you had hoped in the first 2 weeks of January, do not think that the entire year has been wasted. There are another 50 weeks of the year to go. There are so many days and nights, so many minutes, so many seconds yet to come in this world and the next, that we need never fear that it is too late. We can still start. You will have heard in some areas that the first 2 weeks were the weeks of preparation, that if you did not prepare in those 2 weeks, that you have somehow fallen behind the 8 ball. You're somehow behind everyone else. You'll never catch up. Therefore, it's a waste of time. That is not the case. What Metatron is saying is that the new moon, which we have today, in Australia it is today, the 16th, the new moon we have today is a time when you can call on the universe, Write your messages to the universe, to the angels, and let them know everything that you're willing to surrender to them as of no further use to you, be they relationships or thoughts, feelings, ways of life, whatever the issue is that is troubling you, that you wish to have a help from the universe with, now is the time. You can write them down. Pardon me. You can write them down and put them away. And then you can make a list of all the things you wish to have in your life and write the letter to the universe, to the divine, and say, these are the things that I would like to see manifested in my life this year. Surrender it, put it away, and let the universe work. Sometimes the gifts that we are brought bear no resemblance to those which we have asked for. But what he's saying is, with the fullness of time, we will realize that they were far greater than those which we asked for. Because the universe knows, the divine knows better than we possibly could what is in our highest good and what will bring us the greatest joy. So in the depths of despair, remember that the divine always has your back. Now, I have the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor, and I'd like to just, Metatron is saying to draw a couple of cards from here, preferably. Here we go, there's number one. And sometimes when I do a big spread like I did last time, I like to try and get them out beforehand because it saves time. But the reason why I take the time to go through the motions, and I know you can't see it, but if I let you see it, then I probably would drop them all over the floor. It's to let you know that this is actually happening in real time. This is nothing that has been constructed or fake. We all hear about fake news all the time, and Metatron is pushing me to do a connection with other people later, but we will see. Okay, the first card that came up is this beautiful card here, Caring Connections, and it says it all. One of the things that we most crave as human beings are caring connections, and the reason it's called caring connections is that we simply don't, we neither want nor do we need connections which are unhealthy for us. There are people who will pretend that they have your best interests at heart, where in actual fact their own self-interest is what is motivating them. And it is too easy with their practice flattery to be taken under their thrall, so that we become inured to the dysfunctional aspect of the relationship. And it is sometimes a third party, an outside party, who needs to comment to us about this, or the divine steps in and we are given a wake-up call, usually in the form of the scales falling from our eyes, that we realize that the relationship with ourself is not caring, and this caring connection, whilst it shows a couple, it also shows her looking at the flowers. Now, one can presume that he gave her the flowers, but her attention is on those flowers. So is it self-love in that instant where she is looking at the flowers, as well as the connection, the heart-to-heart connection between the two people? And of course, let us not forget, in this current age, that we have just seen that relationships of all kinds are being recognized. So I can see, and Metatron cannot see, any need for the multiple images being presented in either oracles or books of unions of all different kinds. A caring connection can be between a person and their animal. It need not be two human beings. A caring connection is also between yourself and the divine. And admittedly, there is not the same kind of physical interaction which is necessary for human beings, but it is still a caring connection. And it is a pitfall to forget that, or to concentrate solely on the needs of political correctness, to be totally inclusive, which can destroy the flow and connection that is already there. So the first card we're given for the remainder of January, which is also part of what I spoke of in my first video, relationships for January, is caring connections. But to look beyond the obvious, a caring connection is also helping somebody, a stranger, be it with a smile or a gesture, helping an elderly person with their shopping, giving up your seat on the bus, it can be as little as just connecting with them in a non-threatening way and acknowledging that you are connecting in that moment in a heart-to-heart way. The second card that we had that came through was this colourful and vibrant figure, a woman holding a heart. Again, we're brought again the heart connection, the relationship. In my earlier reading, the trees had the foliage in the shape of a heart. And this is a heart within a heart, and it is surrounded by hearts. And what this is saying to me is that, once again, we're told that there are many, many different relationships. Some with ourselves, some with others, some with the divine, some with those who have departed, some with those yet to come. But we are also reminded that in this image, this woman she is beautiful. She is dressed in an alluring wrap. She has a beautiful armband on, and that is all we see is the beautiful wrap and the armband. But her hair is done up, and as we see here, she has this beautiful butterfly on her forehead. And the butterfly, of course, is the symbol for a spiritual presence that is drawn near. It's also, in one sense, an old-fashioned image in that these hairstyles are not current today. You could also say that the wrap that's around her almost looks like feathers. So we're brought again to not just a woman holding a heart, not just a female holding a heart, the divine feminine presence holding a heart, but a heart of many kinds. So much love, many hearts, many kinds of love for self, for others. And it's followed up with, again, the same theme, is a woman walking away. The message is walking away. And what she's actually saying here is that sometimes we need to have the courage to walk through the gate. While she's looking behind, she's not looking behind in a fearful fashion. She's looking behind to say thank you for what I have been given, but I am now ready to go into the brightness, into the light, and find my future, to find the future that is there for me. I have the light of the divine shining on me, guiding me. I can walk through this gate without fear, knowing that my steps will be guided, knowing that I will never be alone. I have the relationships that I will find anew, those who are still with me, and those within heaven, in the divine, and also those who come from far away to bring me and develop new relationships with me of a type and a kind that I have yet to see. So that's the energy oracle. Now, I don't want to go too long today. I felt that my last one was perhaps a little too long, so we're going to go to Kyle Gray, and then we'll see if anyone has a message for us before I finish. Whoops, there we go with number 1. So I hope for the first 2 weeks of January that everyone is, there we go, number 2, is doing well. So there we are, number 3. The first card which popped out was Lady Portia, Divine Order. Beautiful, beautiful image, and part of the amethyst ray. And her message, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Okay, so we're actually being told again that despite what has happened in the first 2 weeks, or not has happened, that it is not too late. Divine order, divine timing. Everything happens only in divine timing, in the right timing. We cannot hurry the divine timing of events. They will only occur when it is right. And Lady Portia is reminding us of that. And we have the beautiful amethyst ray, the purple ray, the ray of healing and forgiveness and transmutation. Before I go on, I am actually called to Archangel Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel is the purple ray, of course, and he is all about forgiveness and transmutation. And this month of relationships, is all about transmuting negativity and also finding forgiveness. Forgiveness for self, forgiveness for others. If you cannot find it in your heart to forgive yourself for things you feel you may have done wrong, how can you forgive others with ease? And if you can forgive others, why can you not forgive yourself, she says. And Archangel Zadkiel is saying, again, that all things happen in divine timing, divine order. The lessons that we have to learn will be there tomorrow if we have not addressed them yesterday. The lesson will be there. The lesson is to learn to forgive. Once we have forgiven ourselves and others, then we can ask for the negative impact, the negative energy attached to that incident, that lesson, that occasion to be transmuted into light. Archangel Zadkiel will assist in that, and Lady Portia will assist with this. So you can call on both Lady Portia and Archangel Zadkiel. The second one we had, beautiful one, is Lady Nada. Lady Nada is heart awakening, of course, and that should be no surprise really, because we're talking about relationships. Relationships talk about the heart talks about how we're feeling. And her message is awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance, which is what we've been talking about. And she's surrounded by the rose, and we have beautiful rose in the heart, the beautiful pink of love, the heart emotion, the heart energy is pink, and green, which when you think about the rose is the other colours of the roses. There's no matter the colour of the rose, there is always the green. The green surrounds it. Without the green brings the life to the rose brings the beauty to life. But without love, nothing can actually happen. Nothing occurs. And we have to learn to stop the struggle against the reality of what is and accept it, so that we are able to then move forward. And if you look deeply into her eyes, you can see the infinite love and patience in her eyes as she's surrounded by those beautiful roses. And there's a trick of the light from where I am, but there's a beautiful light between her eyebrows from her third eye. And as you can see, the beautiful coronet just at her forehead there. It's absolutely adorable. And the last card that came out of this deck this time was, and it's no surprise for me, is Saint Germain. Saint Germain of the Purple Ray. And his message is karma releasing. We cannot release the emotions, the relationships that we have had, be they with ourselves or others, without also attending to the karma that these relationships have brought to pass or brought to light, because we carry karma from the past into the present. His message is to move beyond drama, which is a message that is still current from last year, to remove ourselves from drama. Create your own path. Again, make room for good energy. So Saint Germain is reminding us yet again that what we do with our life now and henceforth is, and always has been, what we actually make of it. We create our own karma by the actions, thoughts, words, or deeds that we do, including, I'm told, including those things which we do not do, which we know we should or we could. So failure to act and be of service to someone else will also bring forth karma for us. We have the opportunity still, and will have throughout 2018, in this year of new changes, new beginnings, to continue to make the changes that will make a difference to not only our own lives, but to others' lives and the life of Mother Gaia. Now, Metatron said that the elementals are going to take a greater role in the world this year. We're going to see with the elementals, of course, we're dealing with Mother Gaia. So because this month, and because my message has been all about relationships, and these messages today have been relationship based, I'd like to spray the water elemental, because water is all about emotions, and ask that the water elementals help to soothe the turgid flows, so the congested and embroiled flows that exist, the turbulent flows that exist. So we ask the elementals to help calm the waters as they carry away the emotions within us. Transmute those negative emotions, the negative flows. We are asking the elementals to work with Zadkiel, to work with Metatron, to work with all the angels, archangels, the other elementals, and the galactic beings. We are asking all of them to work together through the water elementals to help us soothe the emotions of now, to help us to connect with our emotions, to bring forward the good, strong, heart-centered emotions that are needed now to keep us moving forward and upward through the rest of the year. Metatron said not only do we need the water elementals, but on an increasing level this year, and to an increasing degree this year, we will also need to call on the fire elementals. So we need to call on the salamanders and the dragons. And the dragons have been popping in and out. It's going to be difficult today, but here we are. There we go. So we need to call on the fire elementals, the dragons. And the dragons have been slumbering for millennia, but they have been wakening up with ever-increasing numbers, and they are communicating with more and more people. And we need to ask the fire elementals, who will work with Zadkiel, to transmute by burning things in their etheric fire, to cleanse and purify, and also to bring us knowledge which has been lost in the past and will come to light again. So we have two opposites in a way, the water and the fire elementals, but they're working in conjunction with each other and with the rest of the energetic beings whom we are surrounded by, to bring us to a greater place of love, understanding, and right thinking, is what Metatron is saying. Final words, Archangel Metatron, please. It is never too late. The first place to start is within your own heart, within your own mind, within yourself. I, Metatron, am here always. I stand behind you. I stand beside you. I stand in front of you. You can call on me, on my brothers and sisters, and I will be there. We will be there. You are never alone. You will never be alone. Call on the water elementals if your emotions overwhelm you, and ask them to, with Archangel Zadkiel, to transmute those emotions, to bring them down, to let them flow away, to become no longer devastating to you. Ask the fire elementals, our friends, the dragons, to burn away the dross that surrounds us, or surrounds you, that clogs up your life, and let it shine pure and bright. I am here. I am with you always. I wish you love. I wish you peace. So, I think we'll call it that's enough for today, I think. We still have plenty of time. We don't need to worry. Even by the end of January, there is still time. 2018 stretches before us. It is an 11 year. It is an auspicious year. It is Metatron's year. And it is time. And there is time. There is time, he says. Stop fearing the tick of the clock. There's nothing to fear. There is plenty of time. So, thank you for joining me. I welcome you as always. I welcome your comments, which I love to read. So, my YouTube channel is Susan Alexander. To confuse everyone, my Facebook page is Angelic Vibrations, and my website is angelicvibrations.net. I will be putting up more posts on Facebook. I will be offering card readings, which you will be able to see. I hope to see you or hear from you in the future. And the future is stretching bright and glorious as the sun outside for us here. So until then, stay safe, stay well, be at peace with each other and with yourself. Namaste.